we all go through sadness from time to time, and hopefully it lasts a couple days, sometimes a little bit longer. But depression can last years, years, depending on how bad it is. Some people go through periods of their life where they don't even remember it because you kind of black out. You block things out. You're just functioning, like a zombie. Some people have no choice. They have to work while they're depressed. And they disconnect. They disconnect from their family and their friends. They're functioning depressed. And you got to be careful when offering advice to somebody that's depressed, because you can do more damage than good. You can shame people and make them feel even worse. It's like, how dare you be depressed? Look at all you have. What about your kids? What about your husband? And then that just makes it worse. So yeah, please be kind, be careful when you're trying to help somebody that's going through depression. Well, good morning, guys. It is another beautiful day in paradise. I hope you're not getting tired of me saying that, but it really is. It's just absolutely beautiful. And after the long, dreary, wet, dismal winter we had, I deserve to be excited about this weather. It is just beautiful, and it's not going to last forever. It's going to get hot soon. So while it's beautiful, I am going to brag about it because I absolutely love it. This morning, though, because it is so beautiful out, we are going to go for a walk. And normally when I go for my walks, I like to take that time to just reflect and meditate. But today I want you to come with me because I want to talk about something that I noticed a few of my subscribers are dealing with. And it's something that I have dealt with more than once, quite a few times actually. And that's depression. And I want to explain the difference between just sadness and actual depression. Because sadness is a feeling. Everybody gets sad from time to time, and it usually only lasts a short while, maybe a couple days, sometimes a couple weeks, but we usually get over it. Whereas depression is a condition, and it can last for years. It's tough. And well, let's get ready and go for a walk, and we'll talk about it because I don't want to waste this day. It is just too beautiful. So let me get my shoes and we're going to take off. Hard to be depressed when the weather's this beautiful. But yeah, depression and sadness. The thing with depression is depression can be a killer, literally. And oftentimes, most times, it requires some sort of therapy. Some people need to go get on antidepressants. Some need to go speak with a therapist. It's different for different people. Whereas sadness, like I said, you can overcome sadness by getting outside, speaking with a friend, mind over matter. But depression, it takes a little more work. And like I said, I've suffered with depression a few times. And one time I did have to go get on antidepressants. They work for some people, but not for everyone. For me, they just numbed me. And at that time, numb was good because I was hurting. I had just lost my mom. She was my best friend, and I just wasn't getting past it. This last time, I went through a really, really bad depression. I think it's been about 2 years now. And I had just lost my sister, who I'd been taking care of for many years. And my only daughter and granddaughter moved 14 hours away 2 days later. And I was very sick. So I was going through a lot, and I couldn't even get out of bed. The first thing I had to do was to get well, because when you're sick physically, that affects you mentally and emotionally. And I was so sick. Like I said, I ended up going into the ER. I didn't realize how sick I was because I'd been sick for so long. I just thought that's just the way I was supposed to feel, I guess. I didn't realize. Anyway, I decided not to do the antidepressants that time. I just didn't like the way they made me feel. So, oh, there's a lot of people down here. We're gonna go this way. So yeah, I changed my diet. That was the first thing I did. Just trying to get well. And that took a while, but I was determined. I still had a lot of good things in my life, a lot of things to work towards. My grandkids, my husband, my kids, and sometimes people don't have that. You know, you have to have something to help pull you out. And you know, you get friends who mean well. They have good intentions, and they're like, you just need to snap out of it. You know, you just need to focus on the positive, and I don't know, just a bunch of advice. And they mean well, and I know they love us, but that's not what we need. Like I said, for some of us it requires therapy, going in and talking to somebody, medications. Everybody's different, but you have to want it. Sometimes when you're in that deep dark hole, you don't want it. You just want to give up. You don't see any good, any positive. Life just seems so horrible. You know, things that you used to enjoy, you don't get any enjoyment out of hobbies or friends or anything. Not even eating. Some people lose weight, some people gain weight. You get extremely fatigued. Everything makes you tired. Yeah, it's an awful feeling. And like I said, it's not just being sad. It's way more than that. There's a lot going on in the world. And there's a lot of reason for people to be depressed. So if you know someone that you think is going through this, you know, be there for them. Don't offer any advice. Just be there. You know, sometimes just knowing people care helps. Being kind. Take a meal over to them. Sit and talk with them. Listen to them. And like I said, don't offer advice. Not everybody wants advice. And even if it's well-intentioned. I remember one time my mom went through a really bad depression. It lasted for months. And she wouldn't even get out of bed. I'd go over to her house and I'd ask my dad, how's mom? Oh, I don't know. She hasn't been out of the room today. Have you checked on her? I'd go back there. Nobody checked on her. She didn't even have anything to drink. She just laying in the dark room. It was bad. Finally, after, I don't know, a month or two of this, I was like, Mom, we got to do something. Can I take you in? And she let me take her in. I drove her to the VA hospital. My dad was in the military, he was retired. And I loaded her up in the car. She didn't talk. She just sat in the back seat. And I remember driving her there and admitting her. And she was there for a month. We're going to take a little break here. Oh, it echoes. I brought my own emotional support coffee, as my young friend from Life Unfiltered refers to it. Yeah, it's just coffee, a bunch of ice, some heavy cream, some stevia, and a splash of vanilla. And I keep my Starbucks cups because it just feels better. I feel like I'm getting a treat. But yeah, um, it's so beautiful out right now. Gosh, I'm loving this. But yeah, back to depression versus sadness. Like I said, we all go through sadness from time to time, and hopefully it lasts a couple days, sometimes a little bit longer. But depression can last years, years, depending on how bad it is. Some people go through periods of their life where they don't even remember it because you kind of black out. You block things out. You're just functioning, like a zombie. You go through life just doing all the things, but you're not feeling it. And I see a lot of that. I see a lot of people. Because like I said, depression isn't always, being curled up in the fetal position, crying or laying in bed. Some people have no choice. They have to work while they're depressed. And they disconnect. They disconnect from their family and their friends. They're functioning depressed. Some people deal with it by using drugs or alcohol. I mean, let's face it, most drug addicts and alcoholics are severely depressed. That's why they do that. Everybody finds a way to cope until they don't. And that's when it's over. Okay, I had to stop filming in the pavilion. It was echoing too much. But gonna finish my emotional support coffee here in the car. Oh, it's so beautiful out. It's almost 11. I'm going to go home. Got some things to putter around with there. Then I'll pick up the grandkids, take them home, and then we're going to go out and do Uber again tonight. I did pretty good last night. I had a good night. I took all the calls. Sometimes I try to be choosy because I don't want to take calls that are too far away because I don't want to put the wear and tear on my car. And I've been fortunate because I do get a lot of good calls. But sometimes they're few and far between. So sometimes I have no choice. I have to take the ones that are a little bit farther away than I'd like. But that's okay. It pays. And like I said, I'm not doing this forever, just for a time. But yeah, so I've got some things to take care of, finish my coffee, we'll go home, and I need to edit this video. Anyway, you guys, thanks for listening. I want you to know I appreciate you all so much. And for those of you that are going through depression, I hope you can come out of it. Like I said, I know the last thing you want is advice. I think when we're in that position, we know what we have to do. It's just being able to do it. I know it's hard. And hopefully you'll get through it. I am going to leave a link to a hotline in the description, just in case. Sometimes we need a little more help than we can do on our own, Sometimes you just can't pull yourself out and you need to reach out. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go with that thought. And I will see you in the next video.